almost exploding. It's funny. Carbohydrates or sugars. So your worst enemy is soft drinks, pops, Day 20. Alright guys, so almost 3 weeks since I started ketogenic diet. How I feel right now? Super tired. I don't feel strong. I feel like super tired, like my legs are shaking, like my arms, like I feel like I'm like sick or something. Speaking of which, I felt really cold this morning, maybe because I left the window a little bit too wide last night. Maybe that's the reason why I started feeling a little bit sick. But energy-wise, strength-wise, I didn't feel strong at all at the gym today. I worked on my back and obliques and trapezius, but probably because my weight is going down. I lost 200 grams, but I'm not eating carbohydrates at all, maybe less than 50 grams a day. So that's probably the reason why I don't have any ATP or glycogen stored in my muscle cells, so it doesn't have a power, source of energy. That might be the reason, and I don't like this feeling like when I'm working out, I want to work out to maintain my strength and size, but I don't feel strong, I don't feel energetic, and so that's why I need to cut down my volume, like sets and reps. So this is really, I feel super tired, and I worked on my back last Friday and I still have muscle soreness. Probably the reason being that I'm not taking enough proteins, so maybe recovery is taking time than before. Anyways, let's get on to physique update real quick. Not much difference, I guess. Maybe a little bit, fat loss. And after that, I'm gonna talk about how to lose body fat in this video because some of you guys already want to know about fat loss, right? So when it comes to fat loss, what's most important thing is to, number one thing is a calorie in and a calorie out, meaning that you wanna use more calories than you eat every day. So if you are eating like 2,000 calories a day, you might wanna hit a little bit over 2,000 for expenditures. You gotta eat fat to lose fat. It's kind of paradoxical, but this is a myth in nutrition and health and fitness that eating fat is gonna make you fat, which is not true. Eating fat doesn't make you as fatty as eating carbohydrates or sugars. So your worst enemy is soft drinks, pops, Pepsi, soda, ginger ale, those sugars that are easily digested, because that's going to affect your insulin level, which is fat loss hormone. So whenever insulin is released to the bloodstream, your body is going to store whatever the energies in the blood into fat, because your body is going to think, oh, I have too much energy right now, I don't need it, I need to store this, so let's turn this energy into fat. So that's why insulin is called fat storage hormone. And what you want to do when you want to lose body fat is to reduce insulin. You want to be super careful with insulin, and one of the ways to do that is to eat less carbohydrates or avoid sugars, or if you are eating carbohydrates, eat low glycemic index carbohydrates, meaning that low glycemic index, lower the value is, slower it'll get digested. So one of the worst enemies, as I said, is like a Coke, Pepsi, those soft drinks, sugars, because sugars in liquid gets digested even faster than a solid fat or solid carbohydrates. So those have even maple syrup or honey. They have a high glycemic index, meaning that it gets digested super fast. So it'll influence your bloodstream. It'll influence your insulin level in the blood super fast. And once it goes down and down, goes up and down, you feel super sleepy. That's why you have the post meal food coma, because of the sugar crash. So you want to avoid that. You want to be super careful with that guy insulin. And one of the ways to do it is to eat proteins and fat. Fat doesn't trigger any insulin, so that's good. That's why eating fat to lose fat, And the fat actually takes more time to get digested, so that's why eating fat lasts you longer. Whereas if you're eating like sugar, fruits, carbohydrates, you might notice that after eating a lot of food like carbohydrates, you feel super hungry right after. That's because of the insulin and the blood, acting on your body. So it's not calorie. Calorie is not calorie. Calorie is not calorie, because different nutrients like carbohydrates and fat influence your body differently. And what you want to do is to not just to count your calorie intake from the food, but you also want to take into consideration hormonal response from those food or those nutrients. So second point to kind of recap is to control your insulin level, insulin hormone, by reducing carbohydrates and eating more fat and protein. Third point about going about fat loss is definitely weightlifting. People think, oh, I need to do cardio or swimming, because swimming or cardio is really good to burn fat. Kind of true, but not kind of true as well. So if you are going to lose body fat, then weightlifting is going to use, in terms of absolute energy burned and absolute body fat being burned, but weightlifting is going to have higher fat being burned as opposed to doing cardio. In terms of percentage, proportion of body fat being burned as opposed to using other energy sources like glycogen, weightlifting is not going to burn so much of a high proportion. It's not going to use energy from fat as much as doing cardio. So energy breakdown, like an energy burned from, if you have the pie chart of energy burned from body fat and also another from glycogen, ATP, those stuff stored in muscle cells, then probably weightlifting is gonna use a lot more on like a glycogen, like ATP, whatnot, stored in muscle like cells. Whereas in cardio, it's really slow and a long kind of endurance exercise, so they don't use much about glycogen and ATP because they get exhausted super fast. So what they do is they switch to aerobic as opposed to anaerobic. Aerobic stream, where they're gonna use body fat, which is stored plenty in our body to produce energies. So when you do cardio, yes, you do burn more body fat as opposed to other energies proportion-wise, percentage-wise, but in terms of absolute amount of body fat burned, if you compare weightlifting and cardio swimming, weightlifting is gonna burn totally a lot more. So that's why I recommend, people recommend doing weightlifting. And when you're losing body weight and fat loss training, you don't want to lose too much of muscles, and that's the reason why you want to work on. You want to make sure that you train your muscles doing weightlifting, because guess what? Nobody wants to be super bony and skinny, no muscles by just lightweight, right? It's not healthy. Your bone density is gonna be lower if you don't work out, if you don't task on your core. So that's why you always wanna add a little bit of strength training, even if you don't like it, even if you don't want to be bodybuilder. So that's it, guys, for fat loss kind of tips. 3 tips I talked about. It's pretty basic. You can find those information online, but yeah. Anyways, today was day 20. Tomorrow is day 21st, so it's been 3 weeks. I haven't been really losing so much of weight, but from day after tomorrow I'm gonna be away, so going to a vacation in Croatia, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated on my trip as well. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Work hard, see the gains. See you guys next time. So, cheat day, cheat meal was really good. I had. I'm so full right now. I'll show you guys. So much difference. Oh, like halfway through, I was already full. Like this much. It's really full. Right. I'm not flexing my abs. It's like this. And if I flex, still like this. Yeah. So this, I just came back from eating out. Japanese restaurant was good. I had some avocado roll, 5 pieces or 6 pieces, right? And then I also had a chicken teriyaki, rice, chicken, sugar sauce. So lots of carbs. Tempura as well, yeah. 2 pieces of shrimp tempura. And yam and radish or something like that. But look at this stomach. So full, like exploding. I don't know, probably because I started doing a ketogenic diet and then today's day 14th, my stomach got a little bit smaller. My intestine got smaller. That's why like I feel extra full and tight. Because I have been like eating like high calorie, but in terms of like volume, physical volume of food I'm putting into my stomach, it's already small. Like mostly the high calorie food are coming from like butter, sour cream, peanut butter. So volume wise, I think definitely less smaller volume. So that's why I feel super full, exploding stomach. So this is normal stomach. So different. Almost exploding. It's funny. Just like 10 minutes difference. Even if like my stomach is like this full, right? If I flex, no problem. No difference. Yeah. So like this. Like that. Transformation before after. Like right now after eating. Like this. Right. And after I flex, see? I feel like I'm like pregnant. The whole point of having a cheat day or cheat meal, refeed day, is to trick my body to think I'm not in a hunger state, so that body starts burning more fat. Like less and less calories I'm eating, or less and less body fat that I retain my body starts thinking like, oh, I have less money in my bank account, less fat in my body, so I need to hold on to as little body fat that my body right now has as possible, so that I don't die from the hunger. But having cheat meal, like increasing or exploding calorie intake or like carbohydrates intake, is to trick my mind, oh, so much energy right now, so many money in my bank account. I don't need to hold on to that tiny bit of money left in the bank account. So my body starts thinking like, oh, I can burn more money. I can use more money in my bank account because I have more right now. So now it starts burning more and more body fat. And this is kind of like 6 steps forward and then 1 step back. 6 steps forward, like 6 steps in like 6 days a week. I work on like a ketogenic diet or maybe 13 days. And then once a week, once in 2 weeks, I have cheat meal, refeed meal. And then overload my body with carbs and sugars and calories, and then 1 step back. But the 1 step back is kind of necessary to move forward 6 more steps, right? Because body is not gonna be like constantly losing the body fat the same amount in a linear fashion. It's gonna go down in the beginning, but it's gonna slow down the process because body is gonna think, oh, I can't burn any more body fat because I'm gonna die. So this is kind of like cheat meal is advanced technique to break out of the plateau when you're losing body fat, and less body fat you have in your body, the less or more difficult it becomes to burn or lose your body fat. So it is really about manipulating your body and hormone whatnot. So I'm gonna probably have another cheat meal refeed day in 2 weeks. So yeah. Anyways, so for now, I'm gonna go take a shower and go to sleep. Alright? So I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye bye. Work hard. Personal development.